Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone, depending on the time you're listening to me. This is the Enlightenment Series brought to you by Organization Global. And just in case you are listening to me for the first time, my name is Yakubu Huleji, and I'm going to be your speaker and host for this episode. The Enlightenment Series is a weekly podcast brought to you by Organization Global. Here we have conversations that shape ideas, that brings light, that talks about purpose, conviction, and transformation. And then this is going to be a very amazing moment, and I would like you to give us a bit of your time so that we can have a very, very impactful conversation. So, this week, or on this episode, we are going to be considering a very wonderful topic that says why people abandon their dreams. Why people abandon their dreams. 2 weeks ago, we spoke about Dreams of Kings, a very wonderful episode. I wish you can go back and listen to it just in case you've not. And then in that episode, we discussed and we discovered how dreams shape destinies and transform societies. We discussed and we also saw how that people who changed their world, people who changed their kingdoms, kings who did great things were kings that had dreams. So, by parity of reasoning, we said that every human being is a king and every human being is supposed to have dreams so that there can be a proper way of shaping destinies and societies. Dreams are actually very common. Dreams are very, very common. Every person who is rising in life has dreams. Every person growing up have dreams. It doesn't matter whether the dream was clear or not clear. It doesn't matter whether the dream was big or small, but at least each and every person in life has a dream. But sometimes, somewhere, somehow, maybe between childhood and teenage, or between teenage and adulthood, discover that things just begin to change, and sometimes the dream just fade away. For some persons, it's not even in the process of formation. Some persons, even in their old age, just abandon certain dreams. And that's actually a very valid concern, because why will you have passion for something? Why will you have a dream and then in a short while you are talking about tossing it away or throwing it away? While that is very common, it is not something to be celebrated. It is not good for people to have dreams, people to have visions, and then they throw them away. It ought not to be so. So the matter is beyond having a dream. The matter is beyond having a dream. While having a dream is the foundation, what is supposed to be another thing we focus on is the strength and energy that comes in maintaining the dream, or in fulfilling the dream. There's supposed to be something you do in maintaining the dream. There's something you're supposed to do in fulfilling the dream. And this is what we are going to be talking about in this very episode. So I would like you to stay with me even as we have this very wonderful conversation discussing why people abandon their dreams. So briefly, we are going to be looking at a few reasons why people abandon their dreams. One of the major reasons why people abandon their dreams is fear. Fear is a killer of dreams. Fear has ruined a lot of destinies. Fear has stopped a lot of people from moving into their destinies. Fear has been one of the reasons why people abandon very wonderful dreams. A lot of people who fear failure. So for some persons, it's the fear of failure. For some persons, it's the fear of death. For some persons, it's the fear of success. A lot of persons are limited in life because of fear. A lot of persons abandon their dreams because of fear. Fear is one of the reasons that abandon people, that make people abandon their dreams. So sorry for that. Fear is one of the reasons why people neglect their dreams, why people leave the kind of wonderful ideas they have in their mind and they focus on other things that are actually not even in line with their destinies. So fear is something that needs to be dealt with for anybody who wants to remain in the path where they have a dream or where they want to thrive. Fear is something that when it comes into the mind of a person, it takes over you, it overwhelms you, it overwhelms who you are becoming, and it affects you to the long run. Secondly, why do people abandon their dreams? Discouragement from people. Some people abandon their dreams because of discouragement from people. Discouragement from people. You know, I coming up as a child. I had a dream or I believed that I was going to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. While that dream was such something that I took with high esteem then coming up, I later had to drop the dream, and that was because there was someone who always mocked that dream. There was someone who always had negative opinions on that, and it got to me that, oh, this thing is not something you're supposed to do. You should just throw it away. And then that was how I kept it aside. Although growing up and later in life, I got to discover my purpose. I got to discover where I'm going to in life, and then I discovered purely that that's not the path I'm supposed to go. But had it been that was the path I was supposed to go, and I listened to that voice and I allowed that discouragement to come in, that is how I will never achieve that dream. So if you want to achieve your dream, if you want to live in accordance to your visions, then you must stay away from people who will discourage you. Definitely in life, somewhere, somehow, people who will discourage you will be there, they will keep coming, but you are supposed to ignore them. Discouragement will definitely come, but you have to ignore those discouragements. You have to ignore them. You have to ignore them. You have to ignore them. If at all you want to go far in life and you don't want to abandon your dream, avoid discouragement from people. People will usually come to discourage you, but you need to stand on your ground. You need to stand on your ground. What other thing stop people from achieving their dreams? What other thing make people abandon their dreams is the weight of responsibility. The weight of responsibility. This is usually common among teenagers and adults. Teenagers and adults. When you are beginning to grow and then you discover a lot of things, trying to meet up with the pressures of life, trying to meet up with day-to-day needs and all of that. These activities can become so weighty, a lot of things can become so heavy on you, and as they continue that way, you lose grip of yourself, you lose grip of your purpose, you lose grip of your dreams. This is actually a very pathetic situation because I've seen a lot of persons who have become victims to abandoning their dreams due to the weight of responsibility. Responsibilities will actually come, but if you have a dream and you know that this is where your life is supposed to be, this is what your destiny is supposed to look like, you should learn how to manage your time and activities so that the weight of other things will not come and weigh you down. You know, I want you to know that there is nothing in life that is more important than your purpose. There is nothing in life that is more important than your destiny. There is nothing in life that is more important than your becoming. And the moment you begin to allow activities to come into your space and choke your purpose, you discover that there will be very little that you can do, or you may end up even abandoning your God-given potential. You end up abandoning your purpose, and it ought not to be so. Another reason why people abandon their dreams is indiscipline. Indiscipline. Oh my God. Indiscipline is something that has affected a lot of persons and is still affecting a lot of people even in our generation today. The absence of discipline is actually something that is very, very, very expensive. You know, a lot of persons feel that being disciplined will require a lot of energy and strength from you. But one thing they fail to understand is that being indisciplined is even worse because it takes a lot from you. Discipline is an investment, but lack of discipline is a financial mistake. That's in the sense of finances aside cash. Indiscipline is a mistake. It's a very, very costly and dangerous thing to do. Ensure that in all you do, you don't become a victim of such mistakes. Ensure that in all you do, you don't become a victim of indiscipline. An indisciplined person will always abandon his or her dream. An indisciplined person will always derail from purpose. An indisciplined person is like a city with broken walls. Anything can come in and go out. And once anything can come in and go out, there is no structure, there is no foundation, there is nothing that is solid. Am I communicating? And finally, for things or reasons why people abandon their dreams is the absence of patience. Absence of patience. The truth is, it takes time for certain dreams to come to pass. It takes time for certain dreams to come to pass. So when you have dreams, when you have vision, there is a virtue that is known as patience. There's a virtue that is known as perseverance, and you need this virtue for you to succeed. You need to have the ability to wait. You don't need to rush seasons. When you rush seasons, you will end up making certain mistakes you ought not to make. So any person who wants to fulfill their mandate, fulfill their vision, come to see their dreams become successful, you must have patience. You must have perseverance. You must have perseverance. Yes. Don't be pressured by how people do their things. Don't be pressured by how people live their lives. You are not them. You are you. You are different. You are special. And you don't have to be like everyone. There are different kind of foods. A person who is cooking noodles and a person who is cooking, compare these two persons. Then the person cooking noodles will finish before the person cooking beans. So you might be cooking beans. Don't compare your journey with that of someone who is cooking noodles. Ensure you have patience. Ensure you have perseverance. You need to inculcate this in you if you know that you want to go far in life. When there is no patience, your dream will die. When there is no patience, you end up abandoning your dream. You end up abandoning your purpose. In the other episode, Dreams of Kings, I spoke about a king who had a dream about famine that will later come and take over his kingdom. The person who interpreted his dream was a young man called Joseph. Joseph he had dreams right from when he was young. He had dreams right from when he was young, dreams that he couldn't even understand. And those dreams never came to pass till later in life when he had passed through a lot of things. If he was not patient enough, he wouldn't have seen the realization of those dreams. And that's the same that applies to you. You have to be patient, you have to persevere, or else you end up abandoning your dream. So then, how do we create a balance amidst all of these reasons why people abandon their dreams? I'm just going to give us one key, and that key is focus. Focus. If you must fulfill your dream, if you must fulfill your vision, if you must fulfill your purpose, if you must live in accordance to the vision you've set for your life, you must be a person of focus. You must focus on your dream. You must focus on the assignment. You must focus on the mandate. You must be attentive to it. You are supposed to remain steadfast to it. You're not supposed to look away at all. You're not supposed to look away an inch. You're supposed to remain focused. You're supposed to remain focused. Someone gave a definition of focus in the perspective of an acronym, and he said, follow one course until success. Follow one course until success. So I just want to encourage you in this episode that instead of fear, instead of discouragement, amidst fear, amidst discouragement, amidst the weight of responsibility, amidst indiscipline, amidst impatience and all of that, ensure you have focus. So ensure you have focus. Ensure you have focus. The main thing is about faithfulness to your dream. The main thing is about fulfilling your dream. It's not just having the dream, but fulfilling the dream and maintaining the dream. So until the next episode, stay enlightened, stay intentional, and remember, an enlightened mind creates transformation, and a transformed life produces empowerment. Thank you very much, and God bless you. See you on the next one.